Hi, this is Clive Nolan from Arena, Pendragon, Shadowland, I think there's a Strangers on a Train one over here, oh yes, and Canberra. That's my promotion bit done. You're watching Live Prog.
I wanna feel the sunshine down. Don't wanna see my bones rust, my skin turn to dust, and change from what I am now.
Well, we are here at the basement in Lakei in Helmond, and with me, Mr. Damian Wilson, who just performed a very beautiful set, a beautiful acoustic version of Cosmas. And he was kind enough to have a chat with me.
It was great, yes, because we did agree to do an interview, which we were going to do before the show, and then I thought, well, it'd be easier to do it afterwards because we had an afternoon show. So I agreed on doing an interview. I didn't realise it was a video interview, so as a result, I decided to hit the bottle before I should have. So I'm actually drinking beer rather than tea. But I picked up a cup of tea just to kind of keep in the same my routine of touring, because I don't drink at all when I'm on tour. Of course, I only drink tea.
Now, well, you mentioned at the end of the tour,
right?
Well, my question: how are you doing?
Great, really, really good, really good. We've had a great night, afternoon, really good show, and a great tour. It's been brilliant, yeah. Really
okay.
Good.
How many shows did you do?
Oh, it's hard to tell, to be honest, because we did. I did some solo shows, and then we did some stuff with Maiden United, and then I ended up being the support for Maiden United because the support band couldn't come to the shows. So I ended up taking up the support as well. So they all became like a merged into one, which was great and brilliant. Really,
yeah,
really good.
I can imagine that.
Although being the support of Maiden United was kind of tough because they only gave me half an hour. And
you need more.
Well, the funny thing is, in the old days, I always thought that one man and his acoustic guitar, you got pretty tired of him after about 20 minutes. So I thought, 3 or 4 songs, you're done. And nowadays, it's like I find, half an hour, I feel like I can do one song and one story, and then that's half an hour done.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So it's not really enough time, because the one thing about doing a show, and an acoustic show or any other show, is the fact that it takes you a while to get to really know the audience and get that rapport going with an audience. And I find that you need a bit of time to do that.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Now, a while back you released a DVD.
Yep. Yes,
20 years avoiding a job.
Avoid a job, yes.
How is that working out for you?
I don't have a job. I'm still avoiding. Yeah. But it's all fine. I mean, my life has been a blessed life. I've been very lucky. So I seem to be coping okay.
Yeah.
Yes, coping okay.
Well, you're doing a lot of things at the moment. When I kind of looked at the projects you have going on, I mean, you just finished your tour supporting, the re-release of Cosmas. There's a new Maiden United album coming out.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think this tour is a continuation of I Thought the World Was Listening.
Oh, okay.
So the fact that we did a special show today wasn't really for the reissue of Cosmas.
I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
Well, no. To be honest, I probably misunderstood. It probably is a Cosmas tour. I mean, but it's just the fact that the show today was like a one-off kind of special show.
Yeah.
Which we'd planned to have string players and have an elaborate kind of presentation of Cosmas, because it's an album with strings on it and an orchestration on it, and it's beautifully arranged.
Yeah.
But then I kind of thought, well, it was a bit of a struggle getting the right musicians to come down and do the show, and then I kind of thought, well, why don't I just perform it as I wrote it?
Yeah. With
pure honesty, raw honesty, and just acoustic and voice, and so that was the reason for today.
Yeah.
And the other shows were very different. I didn't perform Cosmas.
Okay.
But Cosmas has been reissued. and it's been remastered, and I think it's better for it. Although the first master was by Chris Blair, who had worked with the Beatles, and he had mastered Pink Floyd and things, you know. So great masterer. I asked Dennis Blackham to do it because he'd worked with or has worked with Led Zeppelin and all my favourite artists. Basically, anyone who Chris Blair didn't master, he mastered.
Okay.
So it's amazing, absolutely amazing. But Chris is sadly passed away, and I kind of felt that that the Cosmas album could be represented more for the modern ear, you know, sort of if it was remastered. So that was the choice of doing it.
Oh, that's very nice, and then it's a good opportunity for the people who are not familiar with it, well, to get familiar with it and get a copy of it.
Shouted, run about, and though your laughter echoed out, the sun came up and you weren't around. Decades passed, but you still belong.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, for me, it was like I said this evening, it was like revisiting the album. I wanted to remind myself of why I wrote it and the emotions that were behind it, because all my performances have been very honest, emotional performances, you know. And I think that's the important thing with the solo material. And sometimes it doesn't come across with the bands, but with the solo albums, it's all about the emotion and the passion behind them. I always think that Aaron Lucassen has always used me as a vocalist in a passionate way, and he uses my voice brilliantly. But sometimes a lot of the bands that I'm involved with, it's all, you know, in your face and not really the emotion behind it.
Yeah.
Which of course changes when you look to bands like Headspace, for example, which because I'm involved with the writing and involved with the concept and the whole presentation, I put a lot of myself into it, and it's a lot of emotion and personal feelings and experiences.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that was kind of one of my questions, because one of the albums that is coming out very quickly is of course the Headspace album.
Yes.
Now I understood that Headspace exists already for a few years.
The album was written ages ago.
Okay.
It's just the fact of getting it together and recorded. But it was written a long time ago. The band's been together for a long time. We had done some shows with Ozzy Osbourne and some support shows, which was due to Adam's connection with Ozzy and the Black Sabbath crowd. And it was a fantastic opportunity because our first proper gig was at Wembley, at the arena, which was excellent, and a great opportunity. But we spent a lot of time kind of jamming and writing together and not actually doing anything. And then when we did the Aussie show, we needed something to present. So we did the EP, but the EP was very rushed. It was rushed, not rushed.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was rushed, not rush. It was very, it was recorded, it just didn't show the full potential of the band. This album, I think, has the full potential of the band.
Okay.
But thanks to an awful lot of other people also involved, like Jens, you know, who did the Opeth, you know. He mastered it and mixed the album, and I think he did an amazing job.
Okay. It must have been a bit of I think an unusual experience to play in a stadium, or have you had that experience before?
I've got to say, it wasn't the stadium actually.
Okay.
In fact, it was quite embarrassing. I turned to Lee Pomeroy, who was asking questions about Wembley, and I tried to answer his questions about Wembley because I know Wembley pretty well. You know, I know the arena very well. You know, the get-ins and things like that. And so I was telling Lee, I was saying, oh yes, you know, explaining about Wembley and, you know, sort of, you know, the get-in. And Lee goes, oh no, Damian, I'm really sorry. I don't mean the arena. I mean the stadium. because he was playing the stadium the following weekend, and so it's like kind of put me in my place really. I've never played the stadium.
Okay.
I don't know how to get in. I don't know where the toilets are in the stadium, but I can tell you where they all are in the arena. Anybody wants to know where the toilets are in Wembley Arena, I know where they're all positioned, and I know where the best place is.
The answer, but like you, they can never be fulfilled. In the past you'll find what once denied, the very things you do, that you cannot see throughout your life. Everything was right.
Okay, well, that's very convenient to know.
It's very convenient,
Yeah.
very convenient. And in fact, I do remember being backstage also for the Iron Maiden, Bruce Dickinson's last show with Iron Maiden when he left. I know he's back with them now, but back in the day, I was sitting outside his dressing room just before he went on at Wembley. And I managed to pat him on the shoulder and wish him all the best as he went on stage. And it's because I knew Wembley so well. I actually managed to get into the show without a ticket, without any passes, and I managed to walk all the way up to Bruce Dickinson's dressing room and sit outside, wait for him whilst he was late, and then pat him on the back and wish him all the best for the show, with no passes whatsoever. So it's like, I do know Wembley very well.
All right. Let's hope the people that run Wembley don't see this interview. You know, they might.
No, they're fine. It's sanctuary management who will ban me from going anywhere near the band. That's what it is.
Oh, come on, they don't ban you. I mean, you nearly took his place.
Well, yes.
You nearly
Well,
did.
that's reason enough to ban me, isn't it? Bruce Dickinson doesn't really want to see me as he's going on stage.
No, but well, you know, I remember. I mean, this is actually, I don't know if you remember, but this is the second time we do an interview.
I do
together.
remember very well. Yeah, of course
But
I
the
do.
first
Yeah.
one, you remember where that was?
That was in the Electric Castle.
Yes.
With Aaron Lucassen.
With Aaron
Yeah.
Lucassen.
Of course I remember. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I remember that you told a story there about that you auditioned for Iron Maiden.
Oh, right.
And unfortunately, well, they chose Blaze Bayley. Well, in a way, I say it's a mistake because I think you are a much better singer. Then again, maybe it's for the best that they didn't pick you. Otherwise, you would be up there and not in a nice place like this.
I mean, I'd be playing the same kind of gigs as Blaze Bayley. Is that what you're saying? Like the Little Devil in Tilburg, that kind of thing. Same kind of venues, that kind of thing. Like I am now, that kind of thing. The same places.
I don't know.
Same
I don't know
fan
what
base.
places Blaze Bayley plays.
Oh, he's still around. He's still around.
He's
Yeah.
still around, yes.
Oh, yeah. I do all the same venues as he does.
Okay.
Yeah. So really, it's no different whether I joined the band or I hadn't. I'm in exactly the same place. I'm sure. I mean, the thing about Blaze Bayley is he was an amazing frontman, and he toured with Iron Maiden. And I think I don't think Steve Harris would have looked anywhere had he thought that Blaze Bayley was actually interested in doing Iron Maiden in the you know, when Bruce left.
Yeah.
And it was just the fact that he was, you know, Steve Harris was trying to find somebody to take the job up, and Blaze at the time was the best frontman Britain had, and Steve definitely felt that, I believe.
Yeah.
Don't want to put words in his mouth, but I believe at the time, you know, and I mean, all my mates used to go and see Blaze Bayley, and they go, "Oh, bloody hell, he's seen this singer, oh, it's amazing," with Wolfsbane, and like, "Oh, you know," and he'd come on, he goes, "I'm your worst nightmare," and he, you know, he was a force, you know. So I mean, of course, you know, he was. You know, he was a man for the job at the time. Retrospectively, had I done the job, what would I have become? Who knows? And who cares?
That's true. You're here, and that's what matters. You know, and well, I must say, I mean, you say, you know, avoiding a job, but if I see the kind of albums you're involved in right now, it almost looks like work.
It's not work. No.
It's not work. No,
that whole title came from my brother. Because I said to him, I wanted to go and celebrate 20 years of being in the you know, sort of the industry, music industry. And my brother said, 20 years in the music industry. He goes, what? 20 years of avoiding a job. So yeah, that's my older brother, of course.
Yeah.
He's right. Of course, he's right. Why am I here? I'm not in England. You know,
That's
I'm here in Holland because I can get away with it. You know, I come out and do shows. And it's great, you know.
Yeah, people come and see you. People sing
It's
along.
brilliant, and they sing along.
They
yeah,
clap.
no, I know, they know all the words. And when I don't know what the words are, I look to